Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. So today is September 27th and let's have a quick look at what we talked about yesterday. So yesterday there was a very high priority update from Besu that came out. It seems to have stabilized my node. However, there's still some people complaining about it. So it looks like there'll be more fixes for Besu coming out in the near future. Joe gave us a breakdown of what rewards to expect from being an Ethereum staker and how often they should come and how much you should get. Baldorf became a rocket scientist, which was really wonderful and he totally deserved. Two whales were racing to make more mini pools. That was the Marco, Barco and Patricio node, and a different whale baited. 8-bit Doughboy bought pizza and gave away ETH, which was nice. Nice hello to trading, to the Discord channel for them. STETH was coming back to Peg, and Drez made it out of Russia. So that was all the stuff that happened yesterday. So let's get started with today's things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is this question that Rocket Doc asked. He said, "What's the estimated time frame for mandatory MEV for the smoothing pool?" So as some of you know, as most of you should know, Rocket Pool was going to go into the merge, having made MEV Boost mandatory for all nodes. However, what happened was the OFAC stuff happened, and then there were some issues with MEV relays like Flashbots, making the stuff open source, and Blocksroute coming online and stuff. So because of all of that, there was a delay in the official positioning of the team, making the turning on of that service mandatory. So what's happened in the time being is some people have joined, some people have not joined MEV Boost. People are using different relays on the list, and because of that, uptake has been a little bit, uptake has been really good in the Rocket Pool community, which we're going to talk about next. But there's still some whales and stuff who have not turned on MEV Boost, I think. Yeah, well, it's getting better and better every day. So there's still some percentage short. So Joe then replies by saying, "A month or two is my best guess. We're transitioning into it." So I think what Joe wants and what the team want to see is that there's a choice of relays, that they're all stable, that they're all working the way they're supposed to, that people aren't getting missed blocks or missed proposals or empty blocks or anything like that because of them, and that it all works properly the way it's supposed to, and then at that point it'll be turned on. I think there might be like a discussion that takes place within the community about MEV Boost, because prominent members of the community like Superfizz are anti-MEV Boost and anti-MEV extraction. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with people like Fizz and how they go forward once that becomes mandatory. I'm curious to see what happens. However, at the moment it looks like there's not too many people who are opposed to MEV Boost on ideological grounds, as long as there are relays that match their level of honesty, I guess, or ethics. They say it's ethics, but it's not really ethics, I guess, because they're still allowing MEV. So I'm not sure exactly what the term for that would be, but yeah, we need to make sure that there's a level for everyone's level. There's a relay for everyone's level of comfort in terms of MEV extraction. And I guess at one end you have, the max profit people who just want to get whatever they can while it's there. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people like Superfizz who don't even want to turn it on. So that's going to be an interesting discussion that comes up once it becomes mandatory. I'm curious to see how the team and the community deals with that. So the next thing is this really great image that Joe shared, and I think it's from rocketscan.io. And the reason why it's dark is because Joe uses Firefox with dark everything. So it looks really nice. But the key thing to notice is here on the bottom right of the image, it says smoothing pool MEV and any, and it's at nearly 85%. So I know you can't see my cursor, but the any column for a smoothing pool is now nearly 85%, which is really wonderful to see. I talked on this channel in quite strong terms about people being leechers and moochers, and that argument is like standing up less and less now. So I'm really glad that more and more people are part of this MEV Boost and smoothing pool, because it really brings up the rewards for everyone. And hopefully, after the next rewards period starts in a couple of days' time, that will go to 100%. So that's what I'm looking forward to. However, MEV Boost in the Rocket Pool protocol as a whole is at 80.64%, which is the left box, which is really good too. I think as long as we just get a couple of big whales that are left who are not on MEV Boost, that can really drive up the numbers. Actually, I think most of the whales are on MEV Boost. I think we just need like some of the medium-sized people and some of the smaller people to get on there who are not in the smoothing pool as well. What's really interesting to see is what we're going to talk about next is there's an issue with the feed distributor that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Let me actually just bring that up one more time. Let's give me a second. So we have this post we had from Langers a few days ago that I talked about on Rocket Fuel about an issue with the feed distributor and smart contractors occasionally calculating the node operator's share of its balance incorrectly. So I'm not going to pretend to understand what this discussion was, because it was a little bit technical for me, but apparently there was some issue with commission being affected for the whales, because their numbers were being calculated improperly, and someone said it's an easy fix for Thomas that he just joins the smoothing pool, and then and Patches was saying he should actually consider it until the fix is out. And then there's a post here from Butter says, hey rich people, Marceau and Thomas, there's a bug with the feed distributor. You can mitigate it by joining the smoothing pool. This is not a joke. The issue is that if our ETH trades at a discount, there's an MEV opportunity that involves distributing their fees. So I don't fully understand what it is, but I think Marceau and Thomas should really pay attention to that and try to figure out what's going on with that and how it impacts them. Sadly, our ETH is trading at a very slight discount right now. If you have a look, it's at 0.014% discount, and STETH is at 0.271. So that's getting closer to peg as well. We talked about that yesterday, but it seems like while this little discount for our ETH exists, maybe it's worth it for the whales to join the smoothing pool. And Joe was saying that Marceau said he would join if the MEV adoption was above 80% of mini pools in the smoothing pool. By him and Thomas joining, I think it'll go up to like 98% or 99%. So it might be worth it for them to join. They won't be losing out much in terms of MEV capture, and they'll also be gaining some with their feed distributor stuff. I'm not going to pretend to understand exactly what's going on, but Patches seems to know what's going on, so reach out to Patches and maybe he can tell you. Next, we have this interesting thing that happened overnight, or this morning, I guess, where there was an over-the-counter swap where Patricio exchanged about 55,000 RPL for 1,000 wrapped ETH with this person here. Now, we don't know who this person is. However, there was a person called Rocket Luke in trading a few days last week. And they were asking, hey, does anybody want to do any over-the-counter swaps? Does anybody want to do any over-the-counter swaps? And it seems like maybe it's them, maybe it's someone else, I'm not sure exactly, but it seems like they were able to get through to Patricio and buy 55,000 RPL. Now, the great thing about this sale is that Patricio obviously is one of the biggest holders, or the biggest holder of the RPL token. And slowly over time, he's been selling chunks of it over the counter. So that's really great because it acts as the centralization force of the token distribution. However, and I don't know if this still exists or not, so if I'm wrong, this is just speculation on my part, but historically speaking, there was an understanding that the only people Patricio sold to were those who were setting up mini pools and staking their RPL. He didn't want to sell it to speculators. I don't know if that's still the case. That was the case a while ago, as far as I believe. So the really great thing is that this person who is buying 55,000 RPL, if they stake that, first of all, I'm going to cry because my rewards are going to come down. However, the great thing is that more and more RPL is being locked up in staking, which is really great because there's only a number of times that these over-the-counter swaps can happen before there's no one else willing to sell over the counter, and then these people have to market buy. And if they market buy, that's where the good stuff happens for people like me and you and us small holders who, you know, want to see our RPL appreciate. So that's the way it happens, you know, like okay, if this person had just bought 1,000 ETH worth of RPL on the open market, then we would have gotten a nice pump. However, by this person buying over the counter and then staking, it's just that stability of RPLs and like its supply and demand will change. So hopefully in the long term, this is actually healthier. As much as it hurts me to say that, because I want to say happy all-time day. I want to say happy all-time high day, but it's been a few weeks since I've been able to say that, sadly. So I've said this on the channel before a few times, and I said this to Marceau directly too, but he wrote this comment. He said, "More to come, guys. This was just a test transaction." And then Kevster's like, "You're joking, right? $1.3 million test transaction?" So Marceau just can't help himself. Like, he's such a tease. I think when he ever gets any kind of like exciting bullish knowledge, he just can't help but like tease it to everyone. And then yeah, it's just really great to see that. But if this was a test transaction, I'm like kind of scared to think what the real transaction might be. And that's 55,000 RPL. So 55,000 RPL can support, I think, around 100 mini pools. I want to say more than that. I think like a very, very high number of mini pools can be supported with that. And depending on the collateralization percentage, of course. And then if there's even more coming, then it looks like, you know, we're going to have a new big whale in the community staking. So I'm really excited to see that happen. And finally, Kevster reached out to me and he said, shout out 24-hour smoothie pool POAP. So when the smoothing pool launched, people who joined within the first 24 hours of that got a POAP. The POAP was, you know, like for joining the smoothing pool. So it was really great. Most of the people have claimed their POAPs. However, it seems like some people have not claimed that POAP. So if you want to claim that POAP, Kevster's saying reach out to him using BlockScan, and then the link for that is in the Rocket Fuel tab. However, if you want, you can just message Kevster on Discord. The reason why is Kevster says, only if you were in the mini pool within the first 24 hours of the smoothing launch. I have a whitelist of all the addresses, but I hit my outgoing message limit. And now I've already said everything I asked back to tell in the video. So I'm just going over that. If you want that POAP, then please reach out to Kev and try to arrange that. And if you want to stay anonymous, then you can message Kev through BlockScan. I think you just need to message them from the withdrawal address because that's what's on the whitelist. So yeah, I messaged Kev directly because it's quite easy to find my node if you went looking for it. And then yeah, Kev says if you don't mind sharing your withdrawal address, you can send me a DM. If you want to stay anonymous, you can DM me through Etherscan, but do it tomorrow. Otherwise, it's pretty obvious it's you. So yeah, it depends on what level of OPSEC you want to go for there. But that's really cool. But another cool thing is going to happen right now after I release this video is I'll be sending out a POAP to people who were involved in getting me that horrendous thumbnail that I only have another couple of days left after today. So you'll be getting a POAP for voting in that. I've got a list ready and I'll be sending that out in the next little while. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.